Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro-Carded Tele-Viper. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. So here we have on the top, warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. 4 and up. There's the assortment number if you need that kind of thing. G.I. Joe in the red, white, and blue, but no real American hero. Cobra, enemy. Tele-Viper. And then there's some nice artwork reminiscent of the original packaging. And then over on this side, we have a nice big blister showcasing the figure and accessories. And then down here in the corner, is the classic Hasbro stamp. On the back, again, G.I. Joe in the red, white, and blue. Knowing is half the battle. And then there he's got a nice big old file card there. If you want to read all that stuff, please pause it right here and feel free to do so, even though it's so short you probably already did it. And then moving right along to the cross sale, we have CoverGirl, Tele-Viper, this figure, and Flint. Symbols I'm not going to learn. Parents, GIJoe.com. Attention! Especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Octoon. Don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Small, fine, legalese, made in Vietnam print. A barcode. And symbols I'm not going to learn. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, let's take a look at his primary weapon. Ooh, it dents a little bit, but it's a bit harder plastic than we normally get. So pretty much it looks like it's the same as the Tele-Vipers that came with the flight pods, the regular and Python Patrol version. Same mold. Nice molded details. Looks great. Very, very reminiscent of the original figures. Here we have this hose that we've been getting ever since that Hasbro Pulse. Dr. Mindbender's got some black paint on the ends, or maybe it's molded in black plastic and then it has this silver paint. Anyway, it looks pretty good. Works well so far with this guy. Here is his backpack. Again, looks to be the same backpack as previous releases. Post on the bottom for the hose. And then, where'd it go? There you go. You store the weapon right here. And then it's got various bits and bobs. Got some silver paint apps here on the buttons, which I think is a new detail. And then a little antenna right here. So again, very reminiscent to me of that original figure's weapons. Here we have his stand. It's the Cobra version. 2 pegs on it. It's got a little place here for a name placard. I mean, if you want to make a sticker for that, I guess you could. So, very glossy black plastic. Here we have handy dandy tweezers, so we can take a look at his last accessories, which are alternate heads. And again, these, I think, arcane, the same heads as what came with the previous releases. This one just has the what the on there that I want to say was in one of the intros for the cartoon, or maybe it was a commercial. And then this one says alert, which again goes right back to that same I was talking about with the other head. Now these two heads, this is the same head, just with different words on them, and it may even be the same as this head too. So all three of the heads are the same mold, same paint, except for two of them have some words on them, and they're different words. And just so we can see there, kind of that snarling look, because I think that's the kind of the look the original figure had on it. So pretty much this is the same as the previous releases, just in more classic deco. I want to say this is probably molded in black plastic. This might actually be a separate piece, so it may be in this blue. It's got this silver paint app, it's got the flesh tones, it's got some color for the lips, it's got some color for the teeth. Overall, you know, it's a Tele-Viper. We've got a Cobra logo right here, Tampo. It's kind of hard to see under the lights, but it is there. You can see the red there, but it's all on the wrinkles and stuff. So there's it. He's got a silver paint app here for zipper. He's got this overlay, this vest overlay. He's got a silver paint app right here on his belt buckle with the Cobra logo, and then splash of color down here on the boots and the back of the belt, and some straps on the vest here, and this quilted piece on the vest. So that pretty much covers for the deco. Now as far as the articulation goes, it's pretty standard classified series. Dumbbell at the top, neck is a separate piece, ball joint at the bottom. So he looks up that high, he looks down that far. He's got a little bit of chicken neck, he's got some waggle, he can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, butterfly joints, go back that far, go forward that far, so pretty good. 360 degrees of rotation there at the shoulder as well, and he can raise his arm up at the shoulder well past 90. Cut here at the upper bicep, full 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless elbow, gives you that much bend. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist, on, in and out hinge, and up and down hinge on the other side. So he's got like a standard ab hinge in there, allows him to lean back that far. I think he's got a ball joint in there too, I think, at the waist. So in conjunction, he can lean back that far, he can crunch forward that far, he can lean left and right some. He's got hula, and let's see, he can rotate 360 degrees at the waist. He's got pull down hinge at the hips, allows him to do that much of the splits, which is pretty good, almost full splits. He can kick forward that far, which is a little past 90 degrees, and back about 1.5 of his own feet lengths. Cut at the upper thigh here, full 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee, gives you that much bend. Then at the lower mid shin there is a boot cut, 360 degrees of rotation there. And then for the ankles, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, which is not much really, and then forward facing pin for rocker. Now as far as storage for his stuff goes, of course the stand just plugs into his feet You take the hose and the backpack. Just pop the hose on there. Then you can port the backpack into his bag. You may have to move the vest a little bit to get the holes to line up. And then once you do, just give it a good push in there so it should stay. And then I recommend put the gun in his hand first. Come on, trigger finger. Man, this thing wants to be difficult because I'm recording. Get in there, you. Handy dandy tweezers to the rescue, my friends. Then once you have it in his hands, or in his hand, there's that port or the post on the bottom of the gun handle. And it can just go right in there. And unfortunately, no kind of storage for the extra heads. And there you have it, my friends. I'll look at the figure and his accessories and storage. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Tele-Viper with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Tele-Viper from the Tele-Viper and Flight Pod 2-pack, and the Target exclusive G.I. Joe Classified Series Python Patrol Cobra Tele-Viper from the Python Patrol Cobra Tele-Viper and Flight Pod 2-pack. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Cobra Tele-Viper with the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Swarm Sentry and the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Scarab. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Cobra Tele-Viper with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Cobra Tele-Viper, I have to say, you know, it's not much different than the Trouble Bubble release, except for the colors. And of course, you do get two other heads which are the same as this head, only they have some words over the visors, like, I can't remember. I want to say it was a commercial. It could have been one of the openings for the cartoons, or it could have been a part of a cartoon somewhere, but I think it was a commercial, an animated part of a commercial that appeared in. I could be wrong. I probably am. I usually am, but that's just what I kind of remember. The colors on this one, very classic. It really does take me back to that original figure. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with the Trouble Bubble version. In fact, I'm glad that those two came paired together, because I always use the Tele-Viper in the Trouble Bubble for some reason. That's just how it always made sense to me for some reason. And so it made sense that the original release did come with that. So, but if you didn't want a Trouble Bubble, but you wanted the Tele-Viper. Now you can get this one, the totally classic feeling one, or the totally classic looking one. And there you go. You can be happy with that. I'm happy with it. I've got both of them. My son has the Python Patrol one. And you know, I like them all. I just didn't want to spend that amount of money on the Python Patrol one, but we caught it on sale, and I picked it up for him. And that was back in the day, and it was on sale at Target, of course. So, but yeah, I'm glad this one came out. It's the much more classic looking one. The other one makes sense for the Trouble Bubble because he's wearing sleeves and stuff. Because you don't want to get hit by bugs on your arms while you're flying. At least I don't. But I like the deco on this guy. There's not really a lot of deco going on this guy, but I like the overall look of it. What bit of deco there is, the overall colors of it. It's just very, again, it's the retro version, and that's an apt name for it because it really does take me back to that real American hero figure. So, if you didn't get the Trouble Bubble version, there's this version. If you wanted a Tele-Viper, if not, then you know this one's passed for you too. That's okay if you don't like a specific character, because there's some coming down the pipe now that I'm not gonna get because I'm just A, not familiar with them, or B, not interested in them. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.